when it comes to how trustworthy or untrustworthy Trump is in this case and his kind of flip-flopping all over the place, do you expect to see, I guess, any meaningful progress during his term? Or is there still that major concern there that he could turn around tomorrow and say, all right, okay, we're going to bomb Iran, and then we're having a completely different conversation because now we're having to deal with the fallout of that and potentially a massive war that just sets the entire region on fire?
The Trump administration wants the rest of the world to change how they do diplomacy to cater to the Trump administration and how they want to do business. And this is not going to work. This is not how the world works. And Republicans and MAGA might be trashing the United Nations all the time. It's the only forum that is available right now. It's failing in a large part because of the United States. So they need to come back to the table and try to work through some of these issues with other countries. Otherwise, things are going to continue to deteriorate. This idea that the Trump administration is somehow anti-war or that he's somehow a peace president, I think we can kind of jettison that idea now. I think it's gone. To go and wage war against one of the poorest countries on the planet, Yemen, in order to protect your ally so that it doesn't have to stop committing genocide and ethnic cleansing while they're in the International Courts of Justice for genocide, that's where the U.S. has basically put all of its chips. This idea that Trump there was no wars under the first Trump administration. It's not true. He continued Obama's proxy war against Yemen, in fact, ramped it up. He put boots on the ground in Syria, Donald Trump, 2017, and they occupied 25% of Syria. They're still there to this day. So that's another one. He provided lethal aid to the Ukrainians and escalated the conflict in Ukraine against Donbass. Donald Trump did more than Obama did in terms of escalating with lethal aid and weapons and javelins, which he boasts about. And I'll add one more. The Jolani regime that marched, HTS, that marched into Damascus, Al-Qaeda, Donald Trump saved them in Idlib. And Trump boasted about it in 2019. He said, I saved Idlib. Right now, we're seeing massacres, pogroms against religious minorities, Alawites, Christians. Donald Trump's responsible for the survival of Al-Qaeda in Syria, and the Abraham Accords, which many experts believe accelerated October 7th. Let's just put to bed all of this talk about how Trump is a man of peace and no new wars. It's patently false. And you can now see that in the behavior and the negotiation style that's very reckless and completely writes off other countries, leaders and governments and diplomats, disrespecting them. So all he's left with at this point is go ahead and, wage war on the Eskimos in Greenland. Yeah, there's a W for you there, Trump.